Hola, soy iraní y esto es otro episodio especial de la Mesa Express. Tras el alto al fuego entre Irán e Israel, parece que los ataques han cesado, al menos por ahora. Y para conversar sobre la guerra, contamos con la presencia del analista Peiman Salehi. Antes de nada, debemos situarnos en el pasado 13 de junio, cuando Israel realizó el ataque no provocado, supuestamente preventivo, contra la República Islámica de Irán. La respuesta iraní no se hizo esperar. Con el nombre de Operación Promesa Verdadera 3, cientos de misiles y drones fueron lanzados contra Israel en sucesivas oleadas. Aquellos que lograron penetrar la cúpula de hierro impactaron, entre otros objetivos, contra el Ministerio de Defensa de las IDF en Tel Aviv, las instalaciones energéticas como la refinería de Haifa y la sede del Mossad. Así arrancó una escalada bélica en la que ambos países no cesaron de llevar a cabo represalias. La semana pasada, la entidad sionista golpeó la cadena de televisión nacional iraní, justo cuando la presentadora declaraba: "Este es el sonido del agresor atacando la verdad". Por parte de Estados Unidos, retórica belicista en un primer momento, Trump pidió la rendición incondicional de Irán, amenazó con asesinar al líder Ali Khamenei y ordenó la evacuación de Teherán. La intervención directa del país norteamericano llegó la noche del sábado 21, cuando atacó las bases nucleares de Fordow, Natanz y Esfahan. Todo apuntaba a una guerra de dimensiones mayores. No obstante, pocas horas después de que impactaran misiles iraníes contra la mayor base estadounidense de la región, Al-Udeid, en Qatar, el presidente estadounidense anunció un alto al fuego. A pesar de la violación del acuerdo por parte de Israel, en circunstancias todavía por aclarar, parece que, por el momento, se establece una paz frágil. Esta paz no se extiende a Gaza, donde Israel sigue su matanza genocida. Mientras tanto, el Parlamento iraní aprueba suspender la colaboración con la OEA, el Organismo Internacional de Energía Atómica. Y para desentrañar esta situación de desarrollo incierto, hemos contactado con Peiman Salehi. Peiman es analista político y escritor iraní que trabaja en la intersección entre la filosofía política y los asuntos internacionales. Él nos habla desde Teherán. Thank you for joining us, Peiman.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I honored to join this special episode of Le Mesa Express. Thank you, Layli, for your kind introduction and for inviting me to contribute to this important discussion. Before answering your questions, I would like to offer a brief reflection on the deeper meaning of this conflict. In today's world, capital often matters more than humanity. Western powers are not just finding nations. They are trying to eliminate worldwide that resist capitalism. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, the only ideological force that consistently challenges global capitalism is the resistance led by Iran and its allies. Francis Fukuyama once proclaimed the and the history and the triumph of liberalism, but history has not ended because injustice hasn't ended. Even Fukuyama later revised his positions. What we are witnessing now is not simply a war between states, but a struggle between empires and anti-empires, anti-imperial civilization. I believe this war, launched by the US and Israel, is not only a war against Iran, it's a war against any nation that dares to defeat the West's unilateral order. If Iran were to fall in this war, the dream of multipolar world would be postponed for many years. That is why it is vital for anti-Western nations to avoid strategic mescalations.
True. History, although never truly ended, is now undeniably in motion and relies on Iran. Can you tell us from your perspective what caused the change in US policy, from threats of regime change to diplomacy? Was Trump always reluctant to get involved? His initial threats just a ruse to appease Israel? Or was it ultimately deterrence, the effect of Iran's strike in Qatar?
Slight shift in US policy from maximalist threats to diplomatic gestures can be seen as a result of strategic miscalculations. Washington and Tel Aviv anticipated that internal tensions and economic difficulties in Iran would weaken its ability or will to respond. However, Iran's swift and forceful retaliation within 24 hours, including in unprecedented missile strike on the US Al-Adid base in Qatar. You painted those pensions. What followed was not deterrence by Israel and the US, but deterrence by Iran, executed without closing the Strait of Hormuz or relying on allied forces. This demonstrate not just military capacity but strategic independence.
Leaks show that US intelligence recognizes the limited nature of the damage to Iranian nuclear sites, which presents a mere setback to the nuclear program. Iran has demonstrated the weakness of Israel's Iron Dome, yet has also suffered numerous strikes. Can you talk us through the strategic balance following the ceasefire?
Although the ceasefire has been declared, it is widely perceived within Iran and beyond as provisional. Israeli is likely to regroup and attempt to recover its perceived deterrence. However, the balance of power has undeniably shifted. Iran has established that it can target both Israel and American military positions, resist cyber and aerial assault, and maintain national cohesion despite external shocks. It is no longer just defending its sitting terms.
Iran has suffered for many years under US sanctions, yet the blockade certainly doesn't seem to have destroyed its desire for sovereignty. US and Israeli strikes have failed to fragment Iranian society, and the calls for a popular uprising by the son of the last Shah have gone unanswered. Meanwhile, Iran's attacks appears to have been quite a shock to a country like Israel, which thought itself invincible. What can this tell us about the two countries on a cultural and social level.
While Israel has long framed itself an invulnerable fortress, Iran's calculated and confident response challenged the narrative. The depth of Iran's civilization identity, blending nationalism, Shia Islam, and post-colonial defines process a form of resilience difficult to replicate. Israeli society, meanwhile, afraid, psychologically unprepared for real retaliation on this own soil. This a century of expectation underscores difference in how the two societies from sovereignty, sacrifice, and legitimacy.
It does speak to the fundamental fragility of a society built on stolen land. The scenes of destruction in Israel, now mirroring those in Gaza. But looking further abroad, what are the global implications of the conflict?
The most significant outcome of this conflict may be geopolitical, not military. The unified diplomatic response from China, Russia, Pakistan, and other global South countries in support of Iran, alongside condemnations of Israel streaks by Latin American nations, point to cracks in US-led unipolarity. We are witnessing not a regional skirmish, but a global contest over the structure of international order.
Thank you so much for these valuable insights and for your time, Peiman. We really appreciate it. Y para nuestra audiencia, si te ha gustado esta entrevista, te animamos a dirigirte a nuestro sitio web, donde hemos publicado varios artículos de Peiman, traducidos al español. Thank you again, Peiman, and we will be following your work as the situation evolves.
Thank you, Lady, for the invitation, and thank you all the viewers of La Mesa Express. I look forward to continuing this important conversation in the future. Goodbye and stay safe.
El Viejo Topo es una revista, una editorial y ahora, gracias a vosotros, un canal de YouTube completamente independiente. Si quieres ver más vídeos como este, por favor, suscríbete y dale pulgar arriba. Si aún no nos conoces, échale un vistazo a nuestros libros, revistas y artículos habituales. Gracias por acompañarnos.